Welcome to Breaking Solo, how solopreneurs break barriers, build brands, and embrace the future of business.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to have Gregg Procton with us today. And Gregg, would you tell the audience about yourself?
Sure. My name is Gregg Procton. I've been a CPA and a CMA for, it's been over 30 years now. I've been a CFO, I've been a COO, I've been an entrepreneur for a number of years, and I've been a business coach for a number of years.
Awesome. So, what got you started on your entrepreneur journey? What
Oh,
inspired
geez.
you?
What inspired me? It's one of those things. I think for some people, they either are or aren't. And for me, I've had the entrepreneurial mindset since I was a kid. It's always been a dream. Unfortunately, back then the internet didn't exist and I really didn't have a lot of mentors to speak of, so it was kind of put on hold. And then I realized as working for others meant I was building their dream while putting mine on hold. And I really wanted to create something that reflected my values, my approach, and kind of highlighted my instincts.
That's awesome. I don't like being told what to do, so solopreneurship is perfect for me.
Well, I say that to folks. My wife actually said, "Well, you don't have a boss." I said, "No, I have. At any point in time, I try to keep a small client base just so I can really serve everybody well." I said, at any point in time, I have 8 to 10 bosses,
Yeah,
and any one of them could fire you at a moment's notice. So, it doesn't seem like you have a boss. You just have many bosses.
right. And it's a lot riskier than having just one.
Yes, yes, it is.
So, what's been the biggest challenge for you on your journey and how did you overcome it?
The voices in your head, I guess there's a constant nagging voice, and social media is a nightmare about this. You see what society tells you what you should do or shouldn't do, or how you should be or how you shouldn't be, and really just what it's been for me is focusing on what's important to me, focusing on what fulfills me and makes me happy, and really trying to silence those voices.
Yeah. If you could only just, turn them off, but they seem to come back.
They do, and for me, it has been, and this may seem a little morbid, but it's truly been a factor of, we're not going to be here forever, right? And judging by the gray and the nay on top of my head here, you can tell that, I've been around a little bit, so I'm on the backside, and you get to the point where it doesn't matter anymore, right? We only have so many years, and it truly is a factor of I'm not letting other people's opinions influence my story, right? I'm just having fun with it. I just want to do things, like posting a lot on social media. I do it because I enjoy it, and if it helps one person, that's what matters to me.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
So, do you have a unique niche that you serve?
I'd say it's unique in the sense that I'm a CPA and CMA by trade. I've been a CFO. I've been a chief operating officer, but I really consider myself atypical. I bring a level of empathy and just an overwhelming desire to help that I don't think a lot of people in, it's not disparaging of any of the folks that are in the profession, but I'm not your standard CPA. I mean, besides a very dry, sarcastic sense of humor, I really focus on, it's more important to me that my clients succeed than I succeed. And that's where I find my success. They know that. They believe in me because they know I believe in them.
That's incredible. I always said what most people need is just somebody to encourage them and to tell them that they've got it.
That's 100% true. People, and it's everybody has the voice in their head. They have the self-doubt. They have the family and friends who, if you're an entrepreneur, that's the biggest thing, right? You have family and friends saying, "When are you going to get a real job?" Right? And so they start doubting themselves. But the reality is those folks, the family and friends, they mean well, but they don't know your story, really. They don't know what makes you tick or what you feel can make you successful. So they can't help. They're just trying to protect you,
Right.
and the way they protect you is, well, if you don't take this risk, you won't have any negative fallout from it. Just take the safe path. Take a civil service test or whatever, and just work for the local municipality. You'll be safe that way.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't like safe.
I, I don't either. I feel safer with the unknown. If you
Yeah,
can adapt, and it certainly sounds like you can, if you can adapt to change, you'll never be in a bad place.
exactly. So, do you see any industry trends that solopreneurs should be paying attention to?
Oh, geez. I mean, obviously AI is kind of the topic of everyone's conversation from it's going to take over the world to, the big, I see a lot on LinkedIn where people are saying, well, they're taking shots at people that use AI to write their articles or whatever because of the M dash, the extended dash mark, then you used AI. And there's certainly a blend in there, but I think where people are missing it is if you use exclusively AI exclusively, I think that's where it becomes problematic. But where people can truly, and solopreneurs specifically, can benefit from it, if you can take that AI and incorporate the personal touch, the human touch with it, I think that's where the win happens. If you're just taking ChatGPT, like, the younger generations who may be using it in high school and college is to do their work, if you're just regurgitating a response
Right.
and you can't build off of that response, you're not going to succeed. But if you can add that personal side and interpret what the response is, I think that's the game changing action right there.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, what's one tool, resource, app that you absolutely can't live without?
Well, there's really kind of two. I've just got into it's called Keep. It's a CRM,
Hmm.
and it has been a game changer for me. And I'm only just touched the surface with it. It allows where I've really benefited from it has been seamless scheduling and contact with clients. For folks that want to get in touch with me, it's very, when people are trying to schedule meetings, there's, oh, how does next week look? And then what day? And then you have all the back and forth. And I can just send somebody a link or go to my website and, they can schedule a meeting with me. And it's just such a huge time savings. But also the ability to automate communication with clients is amazing. And then ChatGPT, I mean, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, I guess, but what I really like about ChatGPT is like having a really smart, patient friend when I'm feeling stuck. Because when you're a solopreneur, as you you don't really have anybody else to talk to or bounce ideas off of. So you
Right.
kind of need that sanity check sometimes, or maybe you're just stuck on an idea and you need some kind of reframing. ChatGPT has been very helpful for that for me.
Awesome. So, I agree. I I created my own GPT. I uploaded every assessment I've ever taken. So
Really?
yeah, so it has the information, and then when I need to make a decision, I'll ask it based on, my qualities if I'm making the right decision. You'd be surprised at how accurate it can be.
That's scary. I've noticed that ChatGPT has learned who I am and my approach and my sense of humor a bit. And
Mhm.
that's kind of scary. But if I were to upload all those personality tests over time, I'm afraid the computer would shut down because how much it changes over the years. But but that's fascinating. So do you do it right within ChatGPT or do you use?
No, I do it within ChatGPT. It has the ability for you to create your own GPTs. So you have to,
I need to dig into that. That scares me,
yeah,
but I want to dig into it.
you have to upload the content you want it to reference,
Sure.
but it's really pretty incredible.
I need to look into that further. That would be amazing. Although I'm not sure how many of those old personality tests I still have, but I've done it with like my resume and some other writing samples I've put in,
Mhm.
and it's certainly it's scary how quickly it picks up on who you are.
Yes, yes, it is. So I've even uploaded um, the two books that I wrote, and then some other marketing collateral to its own chat GPT that I can go in and ask it for a marketing strategy or, and it'll spit it out.
I think going back to your previous question about what solopreneurs should keep and or stay on top of, I think that's it right there. I've done a lot of it as well. It's understanding what you can use a ChatGPT or a Grok or any other AI vehicle for,
Right.
and really maximizing the potential of it. And for those folks that are purists, maybe, who are apprehensive to use AI, um, I think it's very short-sighted because you can't avoid it. It's just going to run past you if you don't use it.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So, how about daily habits or routines that help keep you focused and productive?
I really try to start my day off with the three things that are going to move the needle for me in that day, that week, that month. And I make every effort, not always successful, but I make every effort to make sure that I don't touch anything else until those three things are done. I do treat myself like a 15-year-old kid at times where I reward myself with a little social media if I'm successful by a certain time. Um, but generally speaking, it's once I get those three things done, you have that momentum, and that's half the battle for anybody. I think you just need the momentum. You need to have those little wins. It's like I don't know who said it or what book it was in. It might have been Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I don't remember, but just make your bed to start the day because you already have one win done. And to me, it's all about momentum. You get those first couple successes, then you get the confidence, and then you just keep rolling.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I used to schedule all my sales calls on one day, on a Friday, so that once you get into the mindset and you're making progress, like you said, it just gives you the confidence to keep going. So, yeah, I get it.
Plus, you have the reward of the weekend when you're done. I just get through
Exactly.
these, and then I have the weekend in front of me. What a wonderful thing versus a Monday. I got the whole week in front of me now.
For sure, for sure. So, what's one piece of advice that you would give someone that's starting their solopreneur journey?
Oh boy, there's a lot of them actually, but I think the biggest thing, and I see that most people struggle with, and we kind of touched on it earlier, is don't worry about what other people think nor say. We give so much credence to what everybody thinks. And the reality is, especially now in today's world with, every one of us are bombarded with hundreds or thousands of inputs every day in any given moment. And the reality is, and I use the analogy of a firefly, that we are nothing but fireflies in everybody's mind. We're there one moment and gone the next. We sit and we dwell on, geez, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? Did I, should I have reacted differently? I worry about what they think. They're not even thinking about you. They've already moved on, right? I mean, I don't, I at any point in time, I'm not even thinking about a person I talked to this morning, let alone, what they did or said or how it affected me. It's very rare. I mean, if somebody is very rude, obviously they'll stick with you. But if somebody made some comment innocently and they used the instead of the, I'm not going to think about it. So I really think, and what I tell everybody is stop worrying about everybody else thinks. Focus on what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what brings you fulfillment. And above all else, I tell people too, don't chase money, chase the impact. The money will follow. If you're doing what you love, and I know it's cliche, but if you're really doing what you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work. Everything else falls into place. When you find that kind of zone of peace, enjoying what you're doing, everything else just follows.
I so agree. I really enjoy my work. So, I'm happy if I get to, just sit and do it.
I think I might have lost you.
Oh, we froze there for a second.
Yep, you're back. I'm back.
Okay. Good. So if you could go back, what's one thing that you would do differently in your business?
Oh, I would have started sooner.
Mhm.
You know, when I was a teenager, I wanted to start a business called Ideas Unlimited because I just seemed to have an unlimited inventory of ideas. Anytime I saw something, I saw opportunity. But I let, lack of mentors didn't help, but I let the world dictate what I should or shouldn't do, that I should get married young, well, young, relatively speaking. I should go to college, which was good for me, but it's not for everybody. I should go to college. I should get married. Then I should have kids. And the whole aspect of that, it was such a traditional path that when I was growing up that I just thought you had to do. I didn't think there was another option. And looking back, realizing, at 20, you can make a lot of mistakes in your 20s. You can make a lot of mistakes in your 30s and still be successful and happy. And so when anybody asks me about it, that's exactly what I tell them. Start sooner. Don't wait. There is no perfect time. Just start
Right.
making progress. And the other thing is I would have trusted myself more. That self-doubt that we talk about, the inner voice and everything else, but it's paralyzing, and it's paralyzing for most. And when you realize that it just doesn't matter, that, these people that come and go into your life, firefly analogy aside, the people that come and go into your life, and you look back, I mean, from our perspective, how many people are you still in touch with that over those years? I mean, it's probably 95 or 98% of the people that you knew over all those years, do you even have any correspondence with? So the point is you let people hold you back that have no lifelong impact on your life. And it's so trusting yourself more and listening to others less.
Great advice. Great advice.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Greg, where can people connect with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, my personal page. They can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or X at the Compass Group. And through my website, it's www.thecgllc.com.
Awesome. And those will be in the show notes so listeners don't have to try to write them down right now.
Thank you.
Um, are there any exciting projects that you have coming up?
Yes, I've had a lifelong dream of publishing, and it was one of those things where self-doubt has paralyzed me over the years, and I finally just bit the bullet and said, I'm just going to put something together. So I just finished the first draft of my first book that focuses on helping solopreneurs and, well, small business owners succeed without burning out. It's called Peace and Profit, and it's in the process of being edited right now, and then hope to have that out within the next, well, you've written two books, so I'm envious, but you would know in the editing process, it could be 6 months, it could be 18 months, but it's in pretty good shape, so I'm hoping closer to six.
Yeah. It if you have a good editor, are you editing it or do you have
Oh,
somebody else? Yeah.
yeah, somebody else. I can't, it's very difficult, when you're buried in
Yeah.
the weeds to take a step back. And it's funny how, like, if you send a text message or even an email to somebody, if you don't use AI, and you go back and look at that text or email after the fact and you look at all the typos you have, more so in text than email probably. But when
Yeah.
you read it the first time, it looked fine, right? So
Yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
I have a wonderful editor a few states away who not only is editing but is really brought some great points to the top. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Congratulations. You've
Thank
done
you.
what most people, well, only 3% of the people that want to write a book actually follow through and do it.
Really?
Yes.
That's surprising, especially with today's technology. But wow,
Yeah.
okay, I'll take that. I'm going to run
Well,
with that. Thank you.
you're welcome. Greg, thanks so much for being with me today. I hope you
Thank
enjoy the
you.
rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.